How are you doing? My name is Ryan Seymour, and this is our spoilerific episode of Black, White, and Red all over. My esteemed co-host Vic is not here today. He's actually enjoying a showing of Captain Marvel, a press screener. I'm at the shop. Who's winning? Not me, but now here's my description of Meet the Skrulls #1. Yeah. All right, so this is a book that when I was doing the initial order for, I really thought was going to suck. And I ordered accordingly. Uh, Robbie Thompson, Nico Enricon are the two creators behind it, and it's a family of Skrulls embedded secretly into suburban America and doing espionage, which sounds a lot like Vision, where Vision created a family, moved them to suburbia in Virginia, and it was their story. And so I was very much in this thought process of, are they trying to recreate the magic that Tom King had with the Vision miniseries? And I think to an extent they are, but it's really actually pretty good and not just a money grab. But let's get into it. So it opens up with a dictionary definition, too many words, of Skrull, and what it is. And a member of an alien people whose empire once spanned the Andromeda galaxy. Unstable molecules in their bodies allow them to take any shape. The slow collapse of the empire was hastened by a failed invasion of the planet Earth. And it was. Secret invasion a few years back. Really, Marvel mishandled what could have been an amazing miniseries. And they had a Skrull Galactus. Like, how do you lose when you have a copy of Galactus? But I digress. All right. So it opens up with a guy looking like someone who's dressed like your typical Men in Black kind of thing. Black suit, glasses, a hat, and he's walking down the sidewalk. He's humming a song, singing to himself. He's on a bus, which I kind of wonder if that's like a sideways shot at Captain Marvel with the bus scene. And so he's now in a park, and he sees just a typical family, mother, a father, young kid, maybe like 4 or 5 years old, and all of a sudden you see his hands, and they're covered in like Iron Man type, like mechanical gloves, but they're glowing with blue electricity. And he touches the parents. They both fry, like just turn to ash, and the kid is freaking out. And what's interesting is the kid very maturely asks, "How did you find us?" And this kid's like 4 years old. Like, what would that mean? And then the person then just zaps the kid. So we now have 3 out in the middle of this park. We have a family of 3 that are turned to ash. The dude touches his earpiece, says, "Base, this is Agent Echo Lima. Project Blossom is ready for the next phase." It's Project Blossom. Are these Skrulls? Is it a way to track and destroy Skrulls? Maybe. All right, and so now we flash to what looks to be either like some kind of greenhouse, or there's a lot of butterflies, so maybe some kind of like butterfly garden, and it's a class of high school kids, and the teacher's trying to drop knowledge. And as we all know, like as in high school when we went on a field trip, none of us cared. We're all daydreaming or joking or looking around other stuff, and these kids are very much doing the same thing. And this girl named Alice is playing with a caterpillar, and a couple people walk over, and they're clearly the cool kids in the class, and then she's not. And then they start heckling her and asking, like, basically saying that she's stalking them. And Alice is like, "No, I don't. Just please leave me alone." And so they grab the caterpillar out of her hand and crush it, like right in front of her, just as like a sign of dominance. And that's when the teacher comes over, and she's like, "Are there any problems, girls?" And the two bullies respond with, "No, Mrs. Salazar, we were just chatting with Alice." And the other person says, "Yeah, isn't that right, Alice?" And Alice is gone. She's not there, and there's no way she could have gotten away fast. And then we kind of cut scene where the teacher's kind of giving them a tongue lashing, and there's a butterfly standing where Alice used to be. I wonder if Alice is a Skrull. And if she is, like, so cool, because you're a Skrull, a shape-changing organism, is looking at an Earth-based organism that changes its shape through the course of its life, so, which is a pretty cool way to look at things. And now this butterfly is flying out of the butterfly exhibit, flying across town, flying to a house that's with a post box that says Warner family. All of a sudden, Alice is now walking in the door. There she is, Alice. We're in the dining room. Alice is now walking through this house, very normal looking house. As she's passing by a family photo, mother, a father, herself, a younger sister, and an older sister. Older sister looks like she's going through a goth phase. You know the rules. She's now sitting at a dinner table. You know the rules, not at the dinner table. Fine. And she's holding her phone, so she's like, scrolling through Twitter or Instagram or something. And she rolls her eyes, and instead of just putting the phone down, she actually changes from looking like a human to looking like a Skrull does in their normal form. And that's when her parents say, "That's better. Now, let's pray." So they're all holding hands, and they're doing a prayer. They don't actually say any of the words, so like it's Skrullish in nature, I would assume. And then they start having what a traditional family or a family that can actually get all of their kids around the dinner table at the same time, talking about their days. And that was like a little glimpse into my life. And the older daughter is talking about how she's infiltrated this particular group of kids that are having a sleepover, and how she was able to do it by being really, really mean to people, which made her look cool. And once the people at the sleepover are drunk or going to pass out, she's going to break into the parents' safe and get some information out of there. And the dad's sort of like, "Excellent work, Madison. Hannah's parents are scheduled to attend a conference this weekend. You should have access to their safe once the partygoers are fully intoxicated." And then she responds with, "I'll have those plans in no time." Kind of interesting. And now the father talks to his wife, and she's what she did with her day. And she says, "After my meeting with Congresswoman Baker," so these people are in connection with some very, very powerful individuals. Congresswoman Baker, we will be getting some much needed good news. And at that point, it's to a cutscene. She's in an office with somebody else, and she slides across a manila folder to that person as they're trying to explain to her that Baker doesn't have the votes. Why did you bother driving here? And as I've found out in my experience in the IRS building, whenever someone slides a manila envelope over to you, nothing good is inside it. And this is what the dude sees. The person that he's working for has been caught in a blackmail scheme. And now Baker does have the votes for whatever it is she's going to be working on. What I find really interesting about it is, as they're talking about it a little further, she kind of hints at she was the person in the hotel room. So like she changed shape to look like somebody else to fully commit to the blackmail. Very, very cool. And they keep going through the day with different people. The father, we find out, actually works for Tony Stark. And Stark is one of the people that's working with Project Blossom, which we're finding out is a way to track, and nullify Skrulls. So he's on the inside, and he's getting all this info. And it's just like Tony Stark doesn't know. Like he's part of a group working on ways to find and nullify Skrulls, and nobody's picking up on the fact that a Skrull is a part of this. Very, very cool. They get to Alice now, and let me point out that there's only 4 people. There's the mother and the father, Alice and her older sister. There's the younger sisters in the photo, but we have not seen her yet. They have not referenced her or anything. They're talking to Alice, like asking what she's done today, what she's done to advance their cause, and she didn't do anything. And she just says she didn't do anything, and that she's upset she'll never be as cool as her older sister, and kind of lets slip that she used her powers in public. Now, she didn't get caught. Nobody saw her change from a human shape to a butterfly, but you can't do that, because if you're doing stuff like that, somebody's going to find you, whether it's Stark, whether it's Project Blossom. Someone's going to catch you, and your entire life is over. So kind of an argument between her and her father, and he's unhappy, and she's like, runs away from the table saying, "Yeah, we're not a real family," which, as we will find out later, is kind of true. So they're finishing up their dinner, and the older sister said that she's going to continue with her thing. The mother is going to go talk to Alice. The next day, the father meets with someone named Uncle Billy. And let me actually backtrack a couple panels here, because there's a real interesting interaction. We should go talk to her. This is a mother talking to father. I'm late. Moleth sent an emergency beacon. Back to the mother. Moleth reached out to you, of course. Father says, Gloria, please. She cuts in, I'm the senior officer here, and never, ... Father steps in and says, Moleth and I have a history, nothing more. She responds with, right, throne worlders stick together. So she's the person that's in charge, but this is going over her head. And so the next page, Uncle Billy is what the Moleth goes by in his human form. And they're having a discussion, and come to find out that they know that Alice used her powers. So if they know, other people are going to know, and that's going to completely crush whatever the Skrulls are trying to do. And this is their last-ditch attempt to prevent Earth from being able to destroy them and the remnants of their empire. And during this conversation also, Uncle Billy shows them the family that was killed in the park. So whatever Project Blossom is going in full effect. And they have to take this very, very seriously. While all of this is being discussed in word bubbles, there's cut scenes of a panel where the mom is talking to Alice, trying to comfort her. The mom is walking past a room labeled Ivy's room, and it's the younger sister's room. She's no longer with us. In the word bubble there, in that panel is, you know more than most that we've already lost too many good agents on this mission. So it looks like Ivy, their child, died at some point, and her room is kept as if nothing had happened. So it's in pristine condition. We get into a little bit about how their family has been kind of engineered by the Skrull Empire, and Uncle Billy basically describes it as, look, we knew there was great potential in breeding you with the Skrull like Gloria. Her planet, while substandard, has produced many war Skrulls, and we saw that potential in 2 of your offspring, but Alice, and Alice is the one that changed into the butterfly, Alice worries the elders. So this is a very overwhelmingly oppressive environment that they're living in. And at the end of the issue, the person, the Men in Black guy, singing, whistling, he's now at the butterfly exhibit. I believe I found the one I was looking for. Alice isn't there, but he knows that she's been there. So whatever's going on with Project Blossom, it's right on their heels. A very, very cool first issue. Yeah, it's got more of a vibe like the Americans, the FX series, than Vision did in terms of its like more social commentary. This one's more espionage, and the stakes are incredibly high. I thoroughly enjoyed this first issue, which is something that I wouldn't have said, possible, 3 days before. So, thank you for watching. Next week, I promise Vic will be back, and we'll spoil the crap out of another book for you. Thanks.